Let's bring out an old friend of the show.
So Boston's coming up. We got that show.
Come on.
What? You made me sit out there waiting. I had to come in here with a fucking balloon.
With a fucking balloon.
You didn't have to.
I don't understand why I have to wait 15 minutes before you can bring me out like a fucking... What the heck am I peddling or something like that? I can't come out? I'm a second-class citizen? I gotta roll in here? All right, I guess we'll bring Rob out. I have no idea if you're ever gonna bring me out there. I have to come in.
Wait, you have no idea?
Yeah, how would you?
No idea.
You have no idea.
I have no idea.
That's fair, okay.
I have no idea if I'm ever gonna...
I'm fine back there.
James Adomian, everybody! James Adomian!
Let's bring James Adomian out.
Oh, yeah!
It's been a long day, and I've been taking the wrong way. I can't tell if you need a...
I was the first guest, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
I was
yes.
hoping I didn't just accidentally steal someone's spot.
No, it's not. I mean, don't even. I don't
I'm
even
not
want
a guest. I'm a fucking part of the show that comes out later when we get to it.
He's a phenomenon.
you could tell. You could even hear me I was trying to get you out here.
Oh yeah, no, I'm fine.
This guy's a friend of the show.
There's drinks back there.
I've known you since you were 19 years old. I'm a friend of the show.
I love that shows have friends. I love that a show takes a friend out to the lake and talks serious stuff.
Yeah. And maybe that friend sometimes needs to go all the way out on the lake, and then there's a single gunshot at the.
He was a friend of the show. Let's keep it at that.
I know it was you, Kumail. He'll be back. He'll be back. We did not kill him.
No, we won't.
How are you, James Adomian?
I'm great. I'm fantastic. All my projects have been canceled, so I have nothing to plug. I'm free. I'm liberated. Thank you. He knows Gorka.
I was actually watching. Sometimes I'll always get Harmontown highlights suggested in the YouTube margins. And
wait, you get yourself marketed to you?
Yeah, I swear I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the algorithm is because I hate myself. That's probably it. I'm sure I click on shit that says I'm an asshole or something, but it's just anyways, but
that's that's like the Emperor in Star Wars, jolting himself with his powers.
But it's actually a really nice thing because it's been almost 300 episodes, and you're self-loathing. You tend to just go, oh, everything's always been shit, and then there's people out there they'll pull little clips and they'll go, this is an amazing moment, and they'll give it a nice title, and you go, yes, I will click on the first time James Adomian did Bernie Sanders coming out on the show,
and it was here.
And you debuted.
This was
you debuted your Sanders impression.
Bernie Sanders debuted on Harmontown.
What? That's crazy.
At the Meltdown.
And he was.
I like just that as a pull quote. Bernie Sanders debuted on Harmontown.
And the political scene, the mess the stage that became coated in blood was so clean back then that you could see me not knowing. I had asked DeMorge Brown, who's Bernie Sanders? And he said, oh, it's that black guy that is Ben Carson. I was like, oh, it's Ben Carson. So I'm introducing who I think is Ben Carson. I don't know either of their names. And then you come out in these wigs and...
there were two wigs on the side of my head at the time.
These two really awful wigs, bobby pinned together and both on backwards. It was very good.
Yeah, that's how that's DIY.
What was the ride like? You had a homespun version of I know always there'll always be that feature in Variety or something about oh, this guy got cast on SNL, and little did he know that Gary Hart would become such a thing because that was one of his impressions. But you just did it
there's no danger.
The Weeknd style, mixtape style, turned platinum artist. Your Bernie Sanders became a cottage industry that you controlled. And
yes, and look, as all industries, I believe that the Bernie Sanders industry should be strictly regulated. There should be no monopolies, and the workers should take control of the impression itself.
Were there? What are there any little tidbits, or are you tired of talking about it? Like the ride of like, holy shit! You got in the ground floor of this impression of this guy that has become like the Tony Stark of this Marvel movie that's lasting 4 years.
It changed rapidly week to week. When I started doing it, I knew and loved Bernie Sanders, but I thought I was doing an impression of someone who was doomed, like
right.
Dennis Kucinich.
Yeah.
So my angle was, well, I don't have a chance. Yeah. Within a week, there were these 30,000 people crowds, and I was like, that's not the angle anymore. When I first started doing it, it was like, this is the biggest crowd I've seen. Ha, 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 big laugh. But after a while, it was like, I can't believe I'm playing a room this small.
Which must parallel his journey, I assume, if he were up here, right?
Yeah, I think he definitely started in a Volvo somewhere. Whenever I see a good Volvo or an old Studebaker on the road, I'm like, that's Bernie Sanders' car.
But was there ever any moment that really like where that just the absurdity reached a height for you, where because the political fervor of all of this and the fact that you're out there doing a guy, was there anybody like, I don't know what I'm expecting to hear, like someone yelling, "Hey James," and then like throwing paint on you and going like,
yes.
"Stop making fun of him. You're part of the problem," or the opposite, like
There was a couple of like broken brains that thought that making fun of Bernie Sanders is like not allowed because he's perfect, and I'm like, no, I like him. I am a second Bernie Sanders. I'm trying to say the same things and get the message amplified, and also work in some more radical things. Like I got to call for the legalization of psilocybin mushrooms, which he wouldn't do, but I was like, I'm gonna do it.
Because I read a piece in the New Yorker that said that your impression of him might have cost him 2.5 points in the primary.
Thank you. Was that an article, or was that like a 2-person New Yorker cartoon where there was like an ill-shapen therapist talking to
A desk with drawers in the front.
And it was my winning caption. That wasn't even one that had.
It's a contest. But sometimes people thought from our advertising that it was really going to be a Trump versus Bernie debate when we were on the road. Mm-hmm. Me and Anthony and Tamanick. And in Boston, there was a big sign on the front door that was like, Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders will not be at the show tonight. Right. These are comedians.
Jesus.
Because they had been getting calls, apparently.
Speaking of, Anthony's Trump impression, fantastic, and was like, but everybody's like, I mean, that's a guy that's like, everybody's got a Trump impression.
Everybody has a Trump impression.
Have you dabbled? Like, you're.
On the road, I do a Trump impression because I feel like I have to. Because I was in Europe. And I'm like the American who does impressions, and if you don't do a Trump impression, they're just like, you failed, mate.
It seems like kind of a hard impression. Like there's a surface that's just like based like George Bush not gonna do it. Like you just kind of like that. Like the Trump version of that would be like, I'm Donald Trump. I don't know. I tried it.
That's it. That's like stunt. There's a stuntedness to the.
But he has like a tool. He has like a weird jagged toolbox of like.
Anthony Tamanick is my favorite. He does the breathy thing.
Right.
You know, where it's just, I mean, come on. And I mostly just ape his impression and give him credit 1/4 of the time. Yeah. But there's something, I love that Donald Trump speaks, like he hates people from other cultures and places and races, but he speaks English in a way that would be useful if you were learning English for the first time. Or if you're teaching it to someone. Because he uses very simple sentences and easy words. He's like, we used to be bad. We were so bad. In the past, we used to be bad. Now, here in the present, we're getting better. We're so much getting better. And in the future, we're gonna be great. We're going to be great. That's all 3 possibilities.
He's conjugating
like a George
verbs.
Carlin set too, like the way like Rick Moranis' impression of George Carlin. It was like, beats. You want beats?
Am I
beats
on the
me.
plane? Why are you on the plane? I'm not on the plane. The plane is grounded. It's a low energy plane.
You want more stuff you got to have stuff to put your stuff in. Well, now you got to have stuff and put. I'm trying to do George Carlin's material as Donald Trump, in case that's not
That's
clear.
what I was trying to do too with the on the plane.
No, you did it, and then I tried to come in and join the party, and I killed it.
I don't.
You have owners. You think you're free? You have owners. I mean, come on. I'm your owner.
All right, that was a George Carlin bit. Thank you.
We're gonna make
Sorry.
a cage. It's gonna hold so many babies. So many children are gonna fit in so many cages.
I like to
Right?
think
Am I
of them
right?
as hard cradles. They're hard cradles.
Think of them as big boy pens.